Sorry for the short intro. I know you like a long intro. Anyway, so we are on part 2 of the resurrection of Richard, possibly the second. And it started with a problem. And when I say it started with a problem, it didn't start. And that's the problem. Just turning over and over, like the fuel pump has given up. I didn't record that bit because I wasn't anticipating it happening. So either the fuel pump has just suddenly decided to go, like right now, or it could be the main relay. And the main relay is at least accessible. And fortunately enough, it's already been accessed, and there it is. So I'm going to turn the ignition and listen for this clicking. Actually, I'm going to hold it so I can feel it clicking. Oh. I could hear it then. I could feel it clicking, but I couldn't hear it. But I also can't hear the fuel pump priming, so I'm going to just take it off and prise it open and take a look. Doesn't look to be anything obviously wrong with this. A couple of minutes later, I've reflowed this. It looks less tidy than it did do before. Obviously, I'm hoping that's going to work. Let's find out. But I think we're on the soldering line as well. I don't have much hope of this working. Yes! I can get to this horn without having to take the front bumper off. That's exactly what I will do. And I have. Sort of. It's under there. But the access is still not particularly good. What reason could there be for not wanting to take the front bumper off, other than it's a bit awkward on these, you know, the various things to align it and everything, and if you just don't need to, you just don't need to. Anyway, I've got to the horn, had a wiggle. Let's see if that makes any difference. Horn relay. Part of the relay module mounted on the transmission tunnel. Behind this, down there somewhere. Well, that's not behind it. The only one that's behind it is the main relay, and there's a yellow one just over there. So I think it's this one. Also, there's a slightly dodgy connection on there. Let's try see if there's any clicks going on. Not for that. There is for that. What else? Lighter. Hang on, ignition on. Yep. There's that. So I think I'd be best off as the next step to take the steering wheel off rather than the front bumper, because that's going to be easier. And there's definitely no click making contact there with the relay. Where there is, pressing full beam or bunging the lighter on. Thank you. Hey, Dong Chong, do your work. 19mm socket. Well, that's been off recently. No resistance there. Right, okay. Well, shit. Right, we got to the bottom of the problem. Excellent. That's broken. Right. Or is it? Or is it? I don't know. It looks like it is. Yeah, I've just bent that up ever so slightly. Maybe it'll make contact now if I put it back on. Perhaps what I should do is see if I could find another one of these. It just so happens that in the lockup of continual doom and frustration, I have about 5 of these. Most of them will be for a Rover 25 that won't be like that. In fact, they're probably all like that, but I need to go and check. Screwdriver at the ready, because, look, I've found the correct one. Isn't that just perfect? Oh, that's why the screws won't turn, because there isn't any. There we go, this should be quite an easy job. And I fully believe that this is actually going to work. This will make the horn work, and that'll be another tick off the MOT list. Push all these plugs out with a flat blade screwdriver and it pops straight out. Ready to be thrown away. Huh? Oh, right. Lights are on. But there's nobody home. That's the assumption. One will do. That's all we really need to do, just to see if it'll work. Before I bother with all this cowling and putting all this back on and all the other bits, I'm just going to simply check the full beam. That works. We know the lights work. They could have an issue with wipers. Let's have a look. No, it's okay. And the washer works as well. Good. Switch off. Yes, that's it. That's simply it. That bit of broken metal there caused a problem. Excellent.
For women, I'm afraid there's no extra life for you. The main benefit is if you wake up in a bad mood, there's someone to blame.
Why does a horn stop working in the first place? On the R8s, normally it's because of where the horn's located, which is quite low down underneath the bumper where it gets all wet and full of shit and everything. But not always. When you have a thing in the middle like that and it gets broken, I think the only reason for that is road rage. Spending too long bashing the thing and getting angry, because you can hit it, you can press it and it works like this. Or you can slam your hand on it in rage, twatting away like a gorilla trying to win a baking competition. It's going to end in failure. Now I have the rather magnificent task of sticking all of this horn gubbins back in place. It's all a very, very tight fit. Somehow I suspect it would be like bunging a baby giraffe where it came from a week after it's been out running around. Okay, that wasn't that bad after all. That doesn't look right, does it? And now, nothing again! Nothing again! Why? Turns out it's very difficult to fit these tightly fitting bits without the horn going off all the time, so I've taken the fuse out so as not to draw attention to myself. Don't want anyone thinking I'm in danger, do I? This little rubber arsehole is being very, very difficult indeed, so I'm going to have to use a bit of the devil's lube. Yes, that worked. Now it's time to replace the centre console fascia, because without it, it looks a bit like a car from the 80s, and it's not. It's a bit grubby, but I can't be bothered to vacuum it. The car apart, putting it back together, taking the car apart, putting it back together. At this stage, and certainly today, there's nothing more I can do. I need a CV boot. I need that extension for the welder, so I can do this as well. Taking the car apart, putting it back together. It may as well just go for an MOT and see what happens. You might be left wondering why I haven't just ordered those parts, rather than saying that'll happen next week. But there's a very good reason why. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I got scammed! Almost. Yeah, it's true. I'm going to do a big video about this on the other channel, the Captain Mustard channel, that doesn't really get a great deal of use, because it's not massively relevant to this, except for the fact that I've got no bank card. I'm waiting for a new bank card. Last month I made a small online payment for something of £1, and then they tried to take more money off of me. And then the point came where I had the money sent to me to buy that generator, and I couldn't. They wouldn't allow it. Everything I did, they just wouldn't accept the payment. Well, I mean, the bank wouldn't let the payment go out. So I had to phone them up, and they said, yep, we're just going to have to stop your card. We'll have to send you another one. That's the only way. How inconvenient. And that's been over a week. So the annoying thing about this, I ordered the generator, it came within 2 days. You go onto Amazon, stuff comes the next day. But something as important as a bank card, they can leave you waiting for a week before it even turns up. I phoned them up, and they said, oh yeah, just check on Monday. Next Monday's a bank holiday, so it's not going to happen then either. If I sound a bit pissed off, I'm a bit, but there's no real point in dwelling on it too much. There seems to be more and more hidden subscriptions everywhere that unless you read absolutely every single bit of the small print, you find yourself getting caught out. And I never thought that would happen to me. I always thought I was far too smart for this kind of thing. But I paid Amazon as a subscription on about 7 or 8 occasions, unwittingly, because I bought something. And unless you click off subscribe to Amazon for £8.99 a month, which isn't a massive amount, that point comes where you need that £8.99 that particular day, and it's gone because Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world, have taken it out of your account. Can be just a bit of an annoying situation. So I can't do any online banking, I can't have cash because I can't get it out of the bank, and I can't go shopping. If I go to the shop, I need to have my wife with me so she can pay for it all, which means that the decision on what things we buy becomes not my decision any longer, and that's never a good thing. And I feel like I'm rambling on a little bit, so let's stop and just say thank you to everyone who's watched this video. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing, thank you for being a channel member. No thank you to you, my serial disliker, you sad little individual, whoever you are. Waffling on again. Waffling. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.